Okay, again, having used either a 25 torque or a 4mm Allen key, I've now fitted the block. As you can see, we're sitting just above the little handle which we've currently got removed. Okay. Now what we need to do is the very top mounting, is we swing that round, because that's going to be back against the face of the vertical. Now what I'm going to do very carefully is I'm now going to refit the handle to this, and then I'm going to carefully release and lower the head. Okay, then once I've got the head lowered, then I'm then going to get that lined up and see about marking it up on the front of the vertical. Okay, let's see how we get on with that. Nearly forgetting to mention this, don't forget to fix the big bolt from the inside of the head. The one that I showed you earlier when we were going through the various parts on the project. Okay, see if we can get a picture of that mounted. Okay, you should be able to see that in there. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the process of now installing that top bracket. Okay, having now temporarily fitted the handle and carefully lowering down the head, having released with one hand and kept the other hand on the head to take the weight of the head, I've lowered it down. Once lowered down, you can now see that centre of fixing screw is going to mount where the original top stop was. Okay. Next process is, now we actually have this locked off, we're going to remove the handle again. I put the screw in, but there was no need to put the screw in because this key's in with the nut underneath anyway. We're going to need to remove this handle again because this threaded rod is going to need to drop past that handle, and we're going to be able to very carefully bring this down and locate it with the keyway holes there. That can be simply done by either rotating the thread by hand, or I guess you could just lock a screwdriver into the motor mount there and then just wind that down and slowly precisely get it into position. Okay, we're now going to do that. That was accomplished quite easily. I actually used the cable tie to lower it down most of the way until I hit the little nut. Obviously the cable tie stopped at that point, so I just continued to wind it down by hand. I've now lined up that bottom screw location, and I have just found out that top cover on the top of this vertical is just glued on. That just taps off. It actually just came away from it for me while I was getting this into location. What we're going to be doing next is the screw from the original vertical stop. We use that for the centre securing point, okay, which is already there. What we're going to then need to do is for these other two, you're either going to just have to drill it through or tap out the holes for that. That could be quite interesting on how to accomplish that, because we do have the motor in the way. Okay, that's going to require further investigation. Okay, let's now mount that centre securing screw. Okay, what I've found is if you're not quite lined up in the right place, you'll just need to turn your thread just a little fraction. As you can see, you can finally position it. You can do it as far as you can by hand, screwing the screw in, which again we are using 5mm Allen key or T25 torque screw. Okay, I'm now going to secure that into place. Oh, one thing to mention is when you were removing the handle at the side here, be careful that you don't lose the little spring, because there's a little spring there. If for any reason that does pop out, obviously the wider end of the spring goes into the hole, the thinner end of the spring goes up to the screw. Okay, so let's continue to tighten that up now. Okay, I've just done several things to aid me into being able to wind this vertical up and down. What I've done is the spider, or the Lovejoy connector, the top motor, what I've actually done, just mounted it on the end of a screwdriver via the little Allen key on the side there, which is something like T20. Okay, obviously that then allows me to wind that up and down. Okay, as can be seen here, I'm able to easily wind that up and down. Okay, one thing that I have hit upon is I can't actually put the handle back on there now. So using some pliers or just a little pair of mole grips, and just carefully grip onto there and release it. You haven't got to worry about the head dropping now, because remember the head is secured by the threaded rod there. Okay, one thing that I've clipped in, so that we can get this head down low enough to get to those two holes, what I've just done is I've just removed the draw bolt, which releases my chuck or R8 tool mounting, etc. This is Morse taper 3. So that's released that, so I'm obviously going to be able to bring this head down a lot lower now. Okay, so what my plan is next is to release that screw so that will drop to the bottom, and then we can start to wind this down until we've got clearance of those two bolt holes or screw holes. Okay, I'm going to do that now. Okay, I've now done that now. Having turned it anti-clockwise, it releases. I then just carefully tapped it down with a hammer. When it was down and clearing the threaded rod, I then removed it. And now using the screwdriver and the Lovejoy thing, you carefully just wind it down. Straightforward enough. Comes down quite quickly, really. Oh yeah, I can't see there being any problems there with getting it to clear those two screw mountings. Yeah, that's it. To be honest with you, what we can now do is, in case for any reason we need to remove anything up there, what we'll do is we'll just bring the head down to rest on that bottom lock-off point. Okay. So that we know that that's not going to fall anywhere. We've now got a perfect view on those. So we'll now think about what we're going to do with those. With it being hollow inside, we could just drill that through, to be honest with you. And then obviously pop those through with the little nuts on the inside. Possibly put some washers on those as well. And then that will be the vertical ready, really. Okay, let's give that a whirl, let's see how we get on with it.